Hey everybody, how's it going? Um, Welcome. Hey Brenda, Jax, what's going on? Beth, how are you doing?
What's up?
Carly, how's it going? So, how's it going with you, Rob?
Got out of work, tired, exhausted, but I was excited about doing this.
Okay, all right, cool. I was just like, yeah, so I was thinking, I was like, man, it's gonna be a long morning for me. I'm just like, well, we'll see where this goes.
Right?
Oh, okay, we'll get started. Can you tell me a little bit about your channel?
I don't really consider myself just paranormal. I
Mhm.
consider myself like entertainment channel because I do a variety of everything, like historic stuff, places, celebrity grave sites, paranormal. Um, like sometimes I do food reviews and things like that. So, but
Okay.
my basic things I do are like the celebrity gravesite stuff, the historic things, and the paranormal. Those are like the top three.
Okay. I know I've seen a couple of your videos about the famous grave sites and everything. Can you just tell us a little bit about that, like the ones you've done?
Gee, I've done Regis Philbin's grave, Vern Troyer, um, Robert DeBarge from the DeBarge family, uh, Dick York from Bewitched. Um, I've also done Sojourner Truth's grave. She's a famous slave.
Oh wow,
I've
I
done
didn't
his
see that.
grave site. Kellogg family from the Kellogg's. Henry Ford's grave site.
Oh wow.
Uh, I've got like a list of lots of different ones I've done. I've done Claudia Jennings' grave. She was a famous actress and model and Playboy. She
Okay.
was in Playboy in the 60s. Um, there's a few more. I can't think of everybody, but I've done quite a few. But my most favorite one was the Vern Troyer.
Awesome. On that one, I mean, I've seen the ones that you've done and everything. I try to like cover everything, watch your videos. But I know that when you go to a gravesite, do you kind of like? Because I know you're so used to using EMF meter and stuff like that. Like, is there kind of any feeling like when you're like trying to talk about the story? Do you feel like there's sadness or anything like when
Uh,
you?
some of them, but the celebrity gravesite ones, I don't really do try to do anything like paranormal with them. I just let them rest.
Yeah.
I'm just there to. Some people didn't, some people don't know who some of the famous graves I've done, and I think they need to be documented, and I enjoy doing it, and
Yeah.
that is a lot of fun trying to find these famous grave sites, and some of them are very sad. There's the two very sad ones I've done. They're famous because of the tragedy that happened. I did famous graves of the Bath murders
Oh
from
wow.
the disasters. There's
Yeah.
children that were murdered in 1926 from a guy. It was a guy that worked at the school, and he was a disgruntled worker, and he wasn't happy
Wow.
with what was going on, so he blew up the school and he blew himself up and he killed over 50 people,
Wow.
and that was very sad. I actually did a paranormal investigation of that with a friend of mine, like Short Paranormal, and then I did I did a video on the murderer's grave site, and then the other one was a little girl that was murdered by her classmate, and that was one of the most recent ones. She was murdered. She was only 6 years old, and she was murdered by her 6-year-old classmate.
Wow.
Yeah, he
Was
was
it,
6 and she was 6. And that was
um
very emotional and sad.
Well, see, that's what I was just saying. Like, it must be emotional, just to read their stories and actually
Hmm.
um maybe cut out like the posts and stuff like that about them and stuff. And and that I think that would have got me because I'm a little
Yeah,
softy when it comes down to that.
yeah, I get
And
emotional on some of those, like the little girl's grave. I got very emotional.
yeah,
I brought her flowers, and you just feel something there because when you're reading the story and you're watching videos on it, that's what I do. I look up a lot of history and things on it on the subject I'm working on, and that was very emotional. I've been wanting to get to her grave forever, and I finally got a chance to do it, and man, it was very emotional. She was only 6 years old when she was murdered right in front of her classmates.
oh my god, it's
The little boy,
crazy.
the little boy brought a gun to school. And that's what I don't understand. He brought a gun to school, and I don't know how he ended up getting it past teachers and things like that. And he ended up shooting her, and right in front of her classmates, right in front of her teacher. I don't know if you guys seen that video, but yeah, it was a very emotional video to make.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, I would too. Um, I mean, especially with kids now these days, carrying weapons to school. What are the parents thinking? What do they teach them? What kind of values?
Mhm.
It makes you think. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, what society we live in now? I mean,
Yep.
everybody wants to blame the video games, but it's not.
Right.
It's not right. You know, um, it's like me. Like I like watching Lamont at Large. He's pretty cool to telling the stories too. So, I mean,
Yeah, he's been here a few times, and I've tried to get in touch with him. We've kind of talked. We have a mutual friend, but it's really hard to get in touch with Lamont because he's all over the place.
yeah, exactly. Um, can you tell me a little bit of the properties, like sort of like the historical buildings you visited?
Um, well, probably one of the most famous places I recently visited was in Texas, the Alamo.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I like that.
That
I
was
haven't been there.
amazing.
Yeah, I seen one where you're like, you went to go actually see their graves and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
there's so many graves I want to go visit, but yeah, there's a lot of historical grave sites, and there's like I got a list of places I've been, but the one was the Davy Crockett's grave in Boone, and I went. I mean, that was pretty cool going to visit their grave, and they're all buried together in the church down in Texas.
Oh yeah, like because I know like I know when I did my history here in Texas, like I know like Bowie and stuff like that, and they're
Mhm.
pretty big too. How about Santana? Is he there? Did they bury him there? Because I know that he was fighting for the Alamo.
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Um, Only place I've been was at the wax museums. That's where I've been.
I'm Yeah, I haven't been. We didn't get a chance to do a lot. We were there down for the family reunion, and but we took a road trip down there. We drove 23, I think almost 23 hours to get down to Texas. It was me and Sean Cody and the traveling buddy, and we drove all the way down to Texas for a road trip. That was epic. We
Wow.
stopped at a lot of historic sites like Route 66 stuff. We stopped at the Blue Whale on Route
Hmm.
66 and a couple President Lincoln sites, and it was cool. I've never done that before, and that was awesome.
So did you so did you with the with the president's graves and stuff like that? Like I mean, um, Did you actually like see actually the gravestones and stuff like that where they were buried?
I've never been. Well, actually, yes, I have. I've been to one president's grave site, but I haven't filmed it. And uh, President Ford, he's buried here in Grand Rapids, where I'm from, and his childhood home's here, which I filmed that the outside. But yeah, that's the only thing I haven't done. I have not done graves of the presidents yet, and yeah, I'm definitely
Yeah.
gotta do that.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. I would love to see that one. Um, I know that you did the one that fascinated me is like that bridge. Was it let me see.
Oh, Hell's
Yeah.
Bridge.
Hell's Bridge. Tell me a story about that. I didn't really get to look it up. I was pretty busy myself today.
Yeah, there's lots of. It's like an urban legend. I've been there many times, and that was actually one of the first places I ever did. Well, kind of like a paranormal investigation, but I don't have a lot of the thing with me when I do investigation. I don't have a lot of equipment. It's usually me, my cell phone, and that's about it. And I've been able to catch a lot of stuff just using my cell phone. But yeah, that bridge. There's a story on the bridge. It was built. Well, that the bridge that's there now was not built in the 1800s, but there was a prior bridge there that was actually a stone arch bridge, and that
Hmm.
was built in the 1800s. But the story of the Hell's Bridge is Elias Fisk. Um, he was a teacher or somebody that the townspeople really trusted with their children. The children are like going missing,
Oh wow.
and the parents. This is a story that's been told over the years, but the parents decided one day they're going to go out and look for their children because all the town's children were gone missing for some reason. They couldn't figure it out. So
Yeah.
Elias said that, hey, I'll watch the children while all the parents and everybody goes and looks for the other children. So the story is that Elias tied up the children and he took them into the woods where the bridge was. He was leading them into the woods. You know, he was telling the children, hey, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to protect you and stuff while your parents are all gone. And lo and behold, he led the children to the bridge,
Hmm.
and underneath the bridge, underneath this brush, I guess, under the bridge, were the bodies of the children that the parents were looking for. And while he was killing the children, the parents could hear screams and everything, and they came running and they saw Elias killing the rest of the children. And there's that tree. Have you seen that tree in the video?
Hmm.
That tree is the tree they supposedly hung him. There's two different stories. That there's one that they say hung him off the bridge, but it was the bridge that's currently there. They couldn't have done because it's a steel bridge. But that story I heard they hung him off there, and then another one I heard they hung him off that tree. And supposedly at midnight you can hear children laughing and screaming, and then you can hear like the devil talking to you and all kinds of
Wow.
crazy stuff. And
Have you caught anything of it?
oh yeah, yeah, we my first ever uh trip I took there, I had to watch it, listen to it back, but I caught two EVPs of a man's voice, and one was it said get out or something like that. I can't remember what the other one said, but that's the first time I went there, and I caught two EVPs. And then I've been there with Lakeshore Paranormal, and him and I caught some crazy activity there. When we were walking in, I just happened to stop and look up because it's in the middle of the woods. There's this tiny pathway that you take to get to the bridge. It's
Hmm.
about a 15-minute walk in the middle of the woods, and before we got started, I something told me to look up, and I looked up, and there was a chicken sitting on a branch at the entrance of the pathway. I'm like,
Wow.
that's crazy. He was chilling. He wasn't bothering nobody.
Yeah.
He was chilling, so we walked right past him. But yeah, we were back there. We caught a strange mist. Lakeshore is he's sensitive, so
Mhm.
he got scratched and touched and stuff back there. So, and we've heard it was an urban legend, but there's got to be some truth to it because we've caught some crazy activity at that bridge. It's I won't go there by myself anymore.
Wow. So what kind
It's
of
crazy.
apps do you use on your phone?
Um, just well, I'm poor, so I never actually used any apps. I've been able to catch EVPs and stuff without using any apps and
Yeah.
stuff. So
Do you like the Necro app?
I want to get the neck. I need to get the Necrophonics, and there's a couple
Yeah.
of the other apps that I want to get. Now
Yeah.
that I have, I got more equipment now. I have, a regular camera and stuff. So now I'll be able to do that.
Nice. Nice. Man. Do you I know some investigators they go in by feeling whenever they go into
Hmm.
a property. Do you do that?
Sometimes I've felt things and stuff like heaviness and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a cemetery that creeps the hell out of me. It's called Mouth Cemetery. Actually, I don't know if you watched that, but I did the Estes method in the Mouth Cemetery. That's
How do you
Michigan's most haunted.
how do you do that? Like, can you explain to me about?
You need to have other people with you. Lakeshore Paranormal's done it. Amy, what the paranormal? She's actually doing it again tonight. She's done it a few times, but um, you have somebody ask you questions and what you're hooked. You have headphones on. You have you're blindfolded, and you're listening to the either the Necrophonics app with headphones
Mhm.
and a blindfold, and you're
Yeah.
the spirit. They're the person talking to you. They're asking the spirit questions, and the spirit is talking through you,
Oh wow.
asking
That is wild.
questions, and it's very intense. And I did that right in the middle of the most haunted cemetery in Michigan because that's I wanted to do it there, and I got touched by something, and I don't know what touched me. I turned my shoulder, and something touched me. I felt a lot of emotion doing that, and I think a demon was trying to get into me because I heard, I Lakeshore said I said demon, and that was it. They stopped it right then and there. So that was intense.
Yeah, of course. Um, have you ever because I know like you probably work with a lot of investigators, um, in your field and stuff like that. Have you ever like tried any of their equipment, like the dowsing rods or
No, I've never done
and
dowsing
stuff like that?
rods. We've done the REM pod.
Ambra?
I've
Yeah.
REM pod and the EVP meters and stuff like that.
If, so do you think you catch more of it like that?
Um, not that stuff does work, but I've just gone by my senses. My senses really kick in, and I've never been disappointed. I'm like one of the most haunted locations we went to was this haunted mill. It was me, Sean Cody, and Bat Rican, and we got some crazy activity at this mill. We actually got interaction with children, and that video was amazing. That was we got actually we were in this one room and Bat Rican said it's are the children in here, and they let us know they actually removed one of the barriers and one of the barriers shot across the room.
Wow, that is
It was,
wild.
yeah, that was wild, and we tried to debunk it. Everybody that was we had a bunch of different paranormal groups with us, and they all tried to debunk it, and they couldn't. And it actually happened to another friend of mine that was there. We were downstairs, and they were up in the room where the children are playing and stuff, and uh, the children messed with them too. And all you could hear is my friend screaming, and it scared the crap out of him. But yeah, that place was epic. They're watching us is the name of the video. It's got me and Bat Rican on the thumbnail.
Yeah, I seen one where you're in the graveyard and like I think you like felt something beside you, but it wasn't there. I can't remember that. I got it right here. I think I'm not sure. Let me see. Um, it is called um, it's called the Mount Cemetery.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's where I did the SS method.
Yeah, wow, that was. I know I seen that one. I was just like, that is crazy, man. Just standing there in the cemetery late at night and you feel someone next to
Yeah,
you. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's we actually that was the first time I went there. That was on Devil's Night, and it was a little bit rainy, misty and stuff. That was we went there on Devil's Night like 2 or 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and that was my first time ever going there. And I'm walking around, and a friend said, "Hey, Bob, I gotta show you something." I'm like, "What?" And then you could see a figure or something standing right next to me. I'm like, "That's nuts," because I felt like tingling next to me. I didn't know what it was, and I'm like, "That's
Uh-oh.
crazy." That
And
was intense.
well, a lot of people say they feel like a cold sensation, maybe a touch, or 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 their hair stand up on their arms and stuff like that. Like,
Mhm.
have you ever like felt like actual someone like touch you or anything?
Yeah. Yep. That one when I was doing the SS method, I could feel something touch my shoulder.
Oh, that's
I've never been
crazy.
scratched or anything like that, luckily, but I want to get scratched, but it hasn't happened yet.
Wow, that is amazing. That's amazing. Just actually feel that, like and I mean, because as it's like I could tell like I passed away and stuff like that, and I was an event. As a spirit, you only see through your eyes.
Mhm.
And I just don't get how people. Hey, what's up, Fallen? How's it going? Fallen said hi. By the way, um,
Hey, what's up, guys?
because as a spirit, like you see through your eyes. I just don't get how you guys can feel us. I don't get that. I don't know if it's just we're feeding off your energy or your fear or
Mhm.
like like because I know a lot of people they go thrill seeking at like abandoned buildings or graveyards and stuff like that. But I mean as a spirit I don't get how that works. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I can't really explain that either. It's just some type of feeling that it comes over you. It
wow.
comes over me like I don't get it all the time, but it every once in a while when I'm at a certain place, it'll happen. And like it's hard to explain.
Oh yeah, it's hard
You'll
to
know it when
explain.
it happens.
Oh yeah, I bet I will. I mean, um,
Mhm.
Um, can you talk to me about the Felt Mansion? I know the first one where there's a lot of
Oh
people
yeah.
there. I seen this one. I think I heard a female laugh or say something in the hallway. That right there, kind of
Mhm.
like I gotta hear it back. You know what I mean? Like,
That yeah. That place was crazy haunted. That is one of the most haunted mansions in Michigan. And I actually brought the traveling buddy with me, and he's still a little skeptical, but he's more of a believer now after we went there, because he
yeah,
got some activity on his video that he did, and he took a bunch of pictures and stuff. And yeah,
what's going on?
that one I didn't feel anything, but after I started going back in the footage and stuff, everything we caught, like,
Hmm.
dang,
That is
we
wild, man. Sorry,
it
go
was
ahead.
wild. Um,
Um,
Go ahead.
oh, it's the Felt Mansion shows. And I was I'm just intrigued, man. Like, I mean, just you hear the spirit. Sometimes they move a chair. I mean, a lot of people
Mhm.
say, "Oh my God, it's an evil spirit," whenever something's thrown. But you got to think about this. As a spirit, when I was getting attacked by something that wanted to control me and my emotions, who I was as a spirit, and then you have someone else communicating like you guys, it's kind of hard because how do I know I'm trying to hurt that spirit that's trying to control my soul, and then I'm accidentally throwing stuff at you. You know what I mean? I mean,
Well, right. When we were at the Felt Mansion, you could tell the spirits at the Felt Mansion actually wanted people there. You could
oh,
tell
okay,
they
okay,
wanted to be interacted with because the paranormal investigators we were there with showed us a video that they did there, and you actually could see an apparition float from outside. It was a female apparition dressed in 1800s clothing. It was actually Mrs. Felt,
yeah,
and her spirit is felt. No pun intended, but her spirit is felt at the Felt Mansion.
felt Mansion.
The Felt
Yeah,
Mansion, but yeah, I can remember going up the stairs, and I could feel like a little cold
sorry.
chill going upstairs. And then when I edited the video, I'm like,
Mhm.
what the heck was that? And
Yeah,
I slowed it down. You could see an orb shoot right out of the room,
yeah,
and right, like I scared it out of the room it was in. When I walked up, I
yeah.
scared something out.
But
And there's another
you
part.
never know. I mean, it could be something. It could be a spirit that don't even know you're there. I mean, they're just
Mhm.
replaying whatever they're living, and you're just
It was
feeling that.
it was so crazy there. I love that mansion because it never disappoints. We
Yeah.
um there was one part when I was in there and I left the room because I put a flashlight in the room and asked, the spirit, hey, could you move the flashlight?
Yeah.
But that was crazy. I asked it turn the flashlight on or off, but I think it was scared to show itself or something. I don't think I caught anything in that part, but I did hear a woman humming.
Oh wow.
I'm like,
That's
oh,
crazy.
where is
That
that
was in the
coming
hallway,
from?
right? That night.
I was in the hallway, yeah. I
I
heard
was
that.
seeing that. Oh, that was.
Buddy,
I was like rewinding. I was like, what the H? Like.
yeah, there was a woman humming, like, and I was talking to one of the people that worked there, and she said, yeah, if you heard, that's Mrs. Felt. She was happy. Like,
Oh,
what?
okay.
Oh, she was happy. Okay, I'm cool with that.
Right.
But the craziest thing was when we were in her room, and the travel buddy took a bunch of pictures, and she has um, a vanity in there with a mirror that it was actually hers, and her wedding dress and stuff was in that room. And Buddy took a bunch of pictures, and he took a picture of the vanity with the mirror, and he sent the picture back to me. He said, Rob, you are not going to believe this. And we didn't see nothing there, but he took the picture. He sent me a picture with the mirror, and in the mirror you could see a woman's face looking back at us.
I seen that one. I seen it,
I'm like,
he was trying to tell you, and like, and you seen it yourself, and I was like, what the hell? I see that. It was
uh-huh.
wild.
And another part, when him and I were walking outside, um, there was nobody. There was nobody in period clothing or anything like that when we were there. And him and I walked by this one window. There was nothing in the window. We walked through by this room where this window was to go outside, and explore the grounds. And he took a picture of the mansion right where we were, and he goes, "This is nuts." He sent me the picture back, and in the picture you see an outline of a shadow figure of a woman in period clothing looking out at us.
Wow.
Like that, what the?
Now, let
That
me
was
ask you,
crazy.
the period clothes they got there, is that her actual dress, or they just, you
That
know,
was her dress. That was her wedding dress,
wow, that's amazing. I
and
mean,
it had her jewelry on it. And then one of the pictures that Buddy took, the piece of jewelry was lit up for some reason. We couldn't figure that out why it was lit up.
wow, because that's amazing. I mean, they took care of that dress for the longest time. They actually took care of the building. I mean,
Yeah,
like
the
restored
building
it
was
all.
actually abandoned for a long time, and they used it as a hospital, and then
Hmm.
they used it as a jail
Hmm.
for a while, and then it was abandoned, and somebody found it, and they started the Felt Mansion Society, and they're still restoring it, but now they do like wedding venues there, and then they do a paranormal investigation night and stuff. So they use that money to help restore that building, and
Oh, wow,
it's a beautiful, beautiful mansion.
I seen it. I seen it. And I know you go to a couple of abandoned buildings. Let's talk about that a little bit. I know one you told me that you went to, let's think it was a school or something, small school, and
Yeah.
it got abandoned after you went to investigate it. Let me ask you a question. Like I know you like you want to respect the building and everything else. Whenever you go in, don't break
Mhm.
in and stuff like that. Can you tell us a little bit um of the stuff you do before you go into a property?
You I mean, I don't do urbex a lot. I do it, on occasion and stuff, but I make sure, I try, if you can, try to get permission. That's the best way to do it,
Yeah.
but I do a lot of research on those places, and sometimes I'll drive by a place and I won't do anything. I'll drive by it a few times here and there, and just to get the feel of it and stuff. And like that school's been abandoned forever.
So,
And I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna. One day I just drove by it and I stopped and I looked in. I didn't take no video or nothing. And I'm like, this is pretty cool, and nobody seemed to bother me or nothing. And I said, okay, I'm gonna do a video, take videos, pictures, and you just gotta get the feel of a place. And whatever you do, you don't break in. If you can't get in, don't break in. Don't do any vandalism or anything like that. Show respect.
yeah.
There's a ton of history in that, those
I
places.
seen that. I seen like the old tub. I mean, where they wash their hands and shower and everything else. That was
Mhm.
crazy. I mean, like, here's what I understand. It's like I know. Do you think that that farmer owned it or knew who owned it?
Yeah, I think property. Yeah, I mean, I, I made sure when I went in there, I wasn't. If I couldn't get in, I went in or anything.
Oh
But
yeah.
the door, everything was open, and what I don't touch anything. I'm just in there to observe and document it and everything. And the farmer seen the video I did, and he thought it was very respectful, and he didn't mind me doing it.
Yeah.
And but after I did it, and that's why you don't tell you try not to tell of locations. Don't give anybody the location or the address or anything like that, because you get
Mm.
these people in there that want
It's
to
not life
destroy
ventures.
things, and that's what happened. Yeah, so they
Wow,
vandalized it and stuff after I was there.
that's messed up. How can people do that? And it's
Mhm.
history. It's history that our kids could learn from. I mean, they could
Yeah.
have restored it, and so everybody could be like, man, that used to be a school. It's so small.
Yep.
You know what I
One
mean?
room
Like,
schoolhouse.
Yeah, and I seen that woman's shoe there. I was just like, man, that looks like an old shoe. Like that could be just put as um, as historic. I'm serious because that's like looks like a 1920 place. You know,
Uh huh.
it's awesome. I mean,
Yep.
I love history. Whenever it comes on the history, I just stare like at old buildings and everything. Every time I look at chairs, I'm just like, wow, that's amazing. Even the light fixture was from way back then in like the
Yeah.
30s and 20s. It was
Yep. I
amazing.
think they actually used the way it looked when I went in there. I think they actually used it as like a type of home, maybe, because it did have. They ended up putting electricity and stuff in there. So
Oh wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I noticed you're like, oh, I wonder what those air ducts was and everything else. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't. I mean, I was just like, huh, what? Like,
Yeah,
because
that was
it's
when
different.
I
Sorry,
first
go ahead.
started my channel. I didn't know a lot of that at that time I didn't look up a lot of history on things, and I didn't
Yeah.
know much about editing or anything like that. But that was one of the first videos I did when I started my channel.
Wow.
And now
Question.
I've
I'm sorry, go ahead.
and now I've done other urban explorations and stuff. I've been to the abandoned zoo. I've done we just recently did a very cool urban exploration that'll be out very soon. I can't wait to show that one to everybody. But yeah, I've done a few here and there, but they're hard to come by where I live at and stuff. And I'm very, very careful on that kind of stuff.
Well, how about I was gonna ask about that zoo, like, because I know I mean not everything's paranormal, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
but you do get this vibe of the place, you know what I mean, like it has been taken care of, or you know what I mean, or there's people lurking, you got to make sure there's no homeless there or anything, or people
Yeah.
try to do you harm, or security or cameras. You also got to look out for that as well. You guys also
Yep.
make sure that if let's say you walk in the building, you got to make sure that the floor's not going to collapse. The ceiling's not going to collapse.
Oh, I've
Asbestos.
been.
That one, yeah, that building that had
Yeah.
asbestos.
I actually went in this house. I actually talked. This one place I went into was on a property of a business, and this house was so bad. I called it the Moss House. It's actually on my channel. But I asked the door, everything was open on here, but I still went over to the business next door and asked permission to go in. And
Mm-hmm.
they said, yeah, go ahead, just be careful. And they gave me permission to go in here. But that was probably the most worst conditioned house I've ever seen because there was actually moss growing on there was still the kitchen table was still in there, and there was
Mm-hmm.
moss growing on the kitchen table.
Are you talking about the Moss House?
The Moss House.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Like, I mean, I know. Well, do you take respirators or anything like that just to answer, just in case?
No, I haven't actually done that, and I should, but I haven't.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, those are expensive too.
Mhm.
But it's worth it though. It's worth so you don't get sick or anything. So, I mean,
But there's actually there's this park I went to too. It a, has an abandoned factory on it, and it's
mhm,
called Link Brick Park. And it
mhm,
was actually a bricks
right.
factory, and there was actually a fire there.
I've seen
But
that.
they saved the ruins and they turned it into an actual park. But you are not allowed to take any piece of bricks or anything with you. But you can go to the park and you can observe the ruins and some of the machinery that they actually left there and stuff. That's
Wow.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. I noticed the cemetery factory that was 100 years old. I like that one especially. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
I was wondering. I wonder what they built there inside before it collapsed.
I have no idea.
I mean, it's just the history. I'm just like, wow. Like,
Yeah.
well, what sucks is like people don't take care of stuff, vandals and and thieves and everything else. And I mean, like, I just don't like when people do that. They should
No, I
take
don't
care.
like that either.
You
There's
know.
one place I wanted to get into. Um, it was a Indian school, and there's a lot of controversy on those type of schools because they did a lot of bad things to the Native American children and stuff in those schools. And we have one that I did a video on the outside of it because they don't allow anybody to go in because of how bad the condition and stuff is, and it's
Hmm.
uh, owned by the Native Americans and stuff. They own the school, the property, and everything. But there's also a Native American cemetery that you can go visit, and there's an Indian chief that's buried there. And I did a video on that, but I always wanted to go into it was a Native American school, and I'm trying to get a hold of the people that run it to see if I can do a video there because but they don't allow people on the property. There's no trespassing signs all over the place.
Wow. Well, you got to think about it too. I mean, like, um, even the glare of the camera picture can damage some of the the wool that's in there and certain things.
Yeah,
And, I mean, maybe that's the reason why they're protecting it because it's so old, so brittle.
yeah. One of the buildings, I guess, is full of asbestos and stuff. And now to
Yeah.
think about it, I did a urban exploration at the this hospital that was actually a famous magician was um, born at this hospital. It was a Harry Blackwell Jr. And the hospital was the Three Rivers Hospital,
Mhm.
but we didn't go inside because it was a mess. Like we're not going
Wow.
there. And and my other favorite place was the Joliet prison. Me and Sean Cody went there with Carlos the Fam and
I was
Exploration
meant to see that
Unknown.
today. Oh man.
Yeah, Southern Afterlife. A bunch of us went
Yeah.
there. And, oh my God, that place was crazy haunted.
Wow. What kind of stuff did you see? I mean, like, cause I'm of course you. I mean, especially when it's really dark. You know what I mean? And your eyes just cataract and you just see anything.
Yeah,
I mean,
my son actually caught My son went with us, and I didn't see it, but he did. He caught a shadow figure that was down this hallway on the other side of the bars from us, and he saw the shadow figure walking down the hallway.
whoa,
He caught
that
that.
is
I caught
wild.
EVPs and stuff there. We were able to catch some EVPs using the necrophonics, and that was crazy. And buddy, we were all standing in the uh, outside where the prisoners would, uh, congregate and stuff, and we're all talking, and all of a sudden we heard an old school phone ring, and we're like, "What in the world was that?" And we didn't catch it on video, but Buddy, the traveling buddy, did, and you can
Yeah.
hear an old school phone ringing, and we don't know where that came from. And then Sean said
Wow.
there's actually a part in the prison where the prisoners would walk up to these telephones to get their phone calls,
Hmm.
and that's where these old school phones were. And we're
Wow.
like, they're disconnected. So we're trying to figure out how in the world we heard an old school phone ring, and that place was that place was amazing. And it also film. They used it in the a couple of different TV shows and stuff. And the Blues Brothers movie was filmed there.
Wow. That is wild. That's wild.
That was
I
wild. That was very wild. We
I
actually
won't get to
spent the
see it
night.
anyways after the,
Yeah,
because I
you
was
gotta
thinking
watch
I gotta
that.
watch it. You know I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, we spent the night in that prison. We were there all
Yeah.
night long.
Damn. That's wild. I know. I seen that. Um. What is that? The haunted Stimson Hotel with the dolls.
The what?
The haunted Stimson
Oh, the
Hotel.
Stimson yeah, Simpson Hospital.
Yeah,
Lake
the
Shore got
hospital.
me into there.
That was wild.
They're restoring that and turning it into a bed and breakfast, but it was an old mansion um, at first, and then they turned it into a hospital.
Mm.
And uh, I actually I actually caught a picture of the person that passed away and stuff there. Well, bunch of people passed away, but the doctor got killed there. He actually wasn't paying attention and he fell down the elevator shaft. When the elevator opened, there was no elevator there, and he walked right in and plunged to his death. And now
Wow.
that's all converted now. There's stairs and stuff there now, but
Yeah.
I actually went down there by myself and spent like 15 minutes alone down where the morgue
Mm-mm.
and stuff was, where the elevator
Mm.
shaft is,
Oh hell
and I
no.
felt like it was very creepy, cold and stuff down there. I took pictures, and in one of the pictures you could see like an outline of a face and stuff.
Damn. That is wild. Did they have like the freezers where they put the dead people in there and everything?
What's that?
Did they put did they have like the freezers where they put
They
like the
had.
dead people?
I know they had the morgue was down there, but I
Yeah.
don't know if they had I'm not sure if they had freezers or not. But I know they had the morgue and stuff, and that's where they brought the bodies. And but there was
Yeah.
actually an apartment. Somebody was actually living there and stuff for a little bit. I'm like, I don't know if I could live there, but
Right.
there's a lot of
No.
activity and
I
stuff
seen
too.
that, and there was like maybe like 4 or 5, like a baseball player that was born there, and another 3 actors that were there. I seen that one. That was amazing, and I think you guys couldn't go in because I want to say especially.
That was the Three Rivers Hospital.
Oh, that was Three Rivers. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was the haunted abandoned Three Rivers. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
go in there. I mean, I was able to get footage
Hey,
from a little bit, but there was actually a zoo connected to there at that place at one time too.
wow. That's a lot of stuff went on there. Like
Yeah.
imagine walking down this hallway, you can hear an elephant or something. Like no, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's funny though because on the outside it's actually connected to a park where children and stuff play, and this building is abandoned and it
Mm-hmm.
need. I mean, it's too far gone for them to restore it. I don't know what they're gonna do. They tried to save it because of the historic stuff. The people that were born there,
Yeah.
and I think and this it just got in worse and worse shape. They were going to restore it and turn it into like apartments at one time, but
Mm-hmm.
funding fell through and it just stayed abandoned. And then, of
Yeah.
course, vandals got in there and
Exactly.
destroyed it more and stuff. So,
Yeah. Now let me ask you a question. Let's talk about the flashlight method. I know you've done one, a lot of them, a couple places. Can you tell me how that works?
you try to get the spirits to interact with you. And, if you can, try to get them to turn the flashlight on or off.
Yeah. Well, there was one time where you put it on the floor. I think it was on the bed, and it was floor. I swear it was moving at one point. I mean, maybe it was just my eyes, but I swear
Mm-hmm.
it was just like rolling on the ground, or it was just me. I don't know. That's
Little, yeah, that was at the Felt Mansion.
yeah, yeah. I was
Yeah,
just like, was it just moving? I was like,
yeah,
what the?
little movements here or there, but it was hard to catch, like with the naked eye.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you see the video, yeah, then you can see it slowly moving a little bit. I
That
didn't
is
see that until
wild.
like what they started editing my video. That's when I seen everything I saw, and I'm
I
like,
see that it
what?
was going. It was going like slowly, and I was like, "Is he catching this?" I was like, "It's so
Yeah,
amazing."
yeah, that was crazy.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, of course, you do a lot of researches and buildings and stuff like that. Have you ever investigated like a government facility? I know you did the POW camp. I seen one
Yeah,
of that videos. That was awesome. Like, I
I
mean, you try to
did.
look for the basement and stuff.
Yeah, we did. I did. I just did that one recently again with Ferris the Fam and Bat Rican and Sean Cody. But I've been
Yeah.
there. I was there another time with a friend, and that time we actually caught voices and uh, disembodied voices and stuff the last time. But this time when we went, I think it was debunked this time. But we caught people shooting, but there was a shooting range that's near there. So,
Oh, okay, yeah. I heard that and I was just like, I'm out of here, you know.
right? That was
Yeah.
that was so cool though. I mean, it's a POW camp. There's a ton of history, and when you walk in there, you could just feel the history of that place. You know what, like, man, I can imagine German, prisoners being there and stuff. And there's actually a story like uh, three of the German prisoners tried to escape,
Hmm.
and there's a lake that's behind there. It's called Lake Jordan,
Hmm.
but what they thought was it was Lake Michigan,
Good night, buddy.
and it was not Lake Michigan. It was Lake Jordan. So they thought they would escape. So they tried to. They swam across the lake, and they just ran
Hmm.
into another farm. And so the farmer brought all three of them back to camp. It was on the other side of the lake.
Yeah. Wow. This is wild.
But I heard they were not mistreated. They actually liked it, and most of the prisoners liked it there. So they were
Yeah.
not mistreated. And I guess after the war, some of them moved back to the United States and moved back to Allegan, where the camp is.
Yeah. Wow. We gotta thank some of my family too. Some have the wives and kids that want to get back there too. I mean,
Mhm.
I mean, you can think about it. There's tons of people that think they were mistreated and then they weren't. You know, I just
Right.
think they just didn't want to be owned. You know.
Mhm.
Um. So, what do you think about Ouija boards?
I don't mess with those.
Yeah, I
I
know.
don't. There's bad mojo there. I
Yeah.
just some people believe in it. No, I can remember this is before I did anything paranormal. I actually lived in a haunted house when I was a kid,
Hmm.
and Amy of what the paranormal, she used to do those haunted stories. There's a video of me telling my story about the haunted house I lived in.
Yeah.
And that's on her channel. But yeah, we lived in a haunted house when I was a kid, and that's why I don't. This is the reason I don't mess with Ouija boards, because my parents, thought it would be kind of neat to mess with a Ouija board one night, because they used to have parties and stuff every weekend, and um, just even it was a Parker Brothers Ouija board.
Hmm. Oh
They
yeah.
consider those toys. I'm like, that is not a toy.
Oh yeah. Right.
But
Hmm.
yeah, so my dad asked it a few questions and I answered them, and then my dad said, "Well, let us know if you're here or not." And then like 30 seconds later, my dad's chair ended up in this hole, like a small hole, like it tipped my dad's chair over, and we don't know where that hole came from. That was not in the floor before.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
we're
crazy.
done. My dad goes,
Wow.
"We're done. We're done playing with this. We're done," and that was it.
Have you ever had like a doll move its eyes or toys or some walk on their own? I mean, I'm just saying, a lot of people
No,
experience.
I've never seen that. But I believe it could happen, but I've never seen it.
Yeah. Um. So what do you think? So what do you think about like sort of like the afterlife? Like, do you think you could be reborn?
I think it's quite possible.
I mean,
I've seen videos and heard stories about that happening, like with like children coming back and they knew that they were, reincarnated. They were like a soldier in a past life and stuff, and this little boy could tell you that his whole past life story.
Yeah. Well, I had one. I interviewed Christine, her husband, and he sort of had one of them. He passed away, and
Mhm.
he got to fly a helicopter and stuff like that. And I mean, that's amazing. How when
Yeah.
you pass away, you come back, and God brings you back for a greater good. And
Yep.
I
I
mean,
believe in that
sorry
stuff.
guys, how's you guys doing out there? Sorry I didn't say hi to most of y'all. Matt, how's it going? Everybody's
What's
saying
up,
hi to you too.
everybody?
Um, like I mean, I seen a lot when I passed away, and I seen, I talked to God and seen heaven and hell, and like I seen it all, and I seen how, like how things change my way of looking at things,
Mhm.
and that's why I always say I have these little quotes on my Twitter. I'm just like, well, spirits are human too. We got to always
Right.
respect them, ask them how they're doing, and then maybe they'll answer you back. Some
Yeah.
paranormal experience, paranormal investigators, some of them, I'm saying all, but some, they just like just the thrill of hurting them. You know what I mean? So they can
Mhm.
make money out of them. You know?
Yep. Yeah, I
Thanks, Jax.
don't. There's some channels I like to watch on regular cable. I ain't gonna say names or anything, but there's a person that likes to intimidate the spirits and get them to react. But some of this stuff is everything I says I don't want to say anything incriminating on nobody, but everything I do is real. I don't
Yeah.
mm, fake anything. So, and I
Why? I
know
mean,
there's
what's the point? Like, I mean, just to
right.
get a freaking view you might not even get. Like, I mean,
There's certain people on YouTube and stuff that do fake stuff, and I don't do any of that. So,
nah. So, what do you think about mirrors, dude?
what's that?
Mirrors. Do you
Mirrors?
think? Yeah. Do you think that they're they're uh, do you think spirits can get trapped in there or in the mirror by a certain somebody, or do you think they're a pathway to another dimension?
I've I've heard stuff. I've read stories and watched stories on that kind of stuff, and I'm like, it could be possible that could happen.
Yeah,
It
that's
never,
creepy.
anything can happen. So,
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Like, there's things that no one's ever seen that one day you're going to see something like so traumatic, you're going to be like, oh my God, I just seen that. Like, I mean,
right.
and no other people seen it before. I mean, the spirit can come contact you in the middle of the night, and you're like, that's never happened to anybody. Why? Because you have a certain gift that wants you to see that certain thing.
Mhm.
And is it a gift to you or is it a curse? We don't
Right.
know. It all depends on the individual and how they perceive things. So some use it in a bad way, some use it in a good way. It's just like the investigators. Some people they investigate, do it in a bad way and a good way.
Mhm.
And we gotta always respect because one day we're gonna be in those shoes of the spirits. And then
Yeah.
we're gonna be like, man, I wish I could do this all over again and treat
Yeah.
them just like how we were treated.
Some people investigate for the right reasons, and some people investigate for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, they do.
Mhm.
Um, it's just like, hey, what's up, Jason? What's going on? Enchiladas. Oh man, I wish I had some enchiladas right now. Shit, some Mexican enchiladas. Man, I need some food right now.
Oh, that's gonna make me hungry now.
Oh man, dude. Oh, no, I like the Walmart sandwiches. Not to talk about food,
Mhm.
but what's up, Pinky? Um, yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry. I always get those sandwiches. I mean, they're just awesome. I just don't like
I
the dry
actually
bread one. Sorry, go ahead.
uh, George TV, the fam. We when we hung out in Texas, he actually got me to eat some tortas. Finally, I'm like, oh my god, these
Oh,
things
they're
are delicious.
delicious. Oh, you can put like anything on there, like cheese, meat. Oh man, you know
Mhm.
what? The food is so good. I mean, it's everywhere. Food's good everywhere. It depends where
Yeah.
you go. I mean,
I loved Texas, but it's so damn hot down there.
it's hot. But we had a little storm yesterday, but because I don't know what storm it was, but we just got some rain one day, and um, like 20, 15 minutes going past down this highway over behind our house, they had a tornado started, but it
Mhm.
never came to anything. But I mean, like the food is so amazing. Like, I mean, damn, you can get fat. They say Texas is I said Texas is bigger or something like that or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, whatever you call it, whatever. Que
Mhm.
pasa? Oh, all right. They try to talk Spanish on there. I'm having corn dogs. That's what Beauty and Nature said. Yeah, back to the spiritual world. You know what I mean? It's so amazing that, what I want to know is what's beyond the veil. I know
Right.
I know what it is to die, but what's beyond it? What's so whenever it's like I came back for a reason, because I had that unfinished business for myself, right? To correct myself. But what's beyond it? Like
I was
I want to.
actually thinking about that today. Like I was wondering, what happens when you pass away? What happens? Do you still feel? Can you still see? You
Well,
know.
I'll tell you this, okay? When I passed away, and because the ventilators were helping me breathe, I was basically dead. When
Mhm.
you forget about your family, you forget everything, and then you, I went into this black void, and somehow something brings you back to a memory. Like mine was a phone. My phone kept on ringing. My parents tried to call me, everything. So then I wake up, and and there's just so much chaos around you. You see your family, you hear your family, you hear you see things that are noticeable and everything. You see your hospital room, you see you floating on on your bed and everything, and you see the doctors that you see when you wake up. I mean, and basically, everybody's just trying to find that uh find that thing that happened to you, how you died, but
Right.
at the same time, they're trying to torture you at the same time. I mean, everyone's different whenever they die. Mine, I can only see from the eyes. I could see my
Mhm.
mom talking to the doctors. I could see like everybody crying over me, but they weren't there, but they were there. Because with
Right.
COVID, you can't be there. Like I seen everybody struggling. I seen everybody stressing each other out, and they couldn't help it, but they did. But I mean, but at the same time, it's just like when you die, you can't sit there and go touch anything. I mean, when you move stuff, you move it in your mind,
Mhm.
and all you feel is just your eyeballs, like just looking around. And when you eat, see, I wasn't worried about eating. Maybe I wasn't dead long, but I mean, they were telling me you got to eat, you got to eat, you got to eat, and
Mhm.
like it was wild. I mean, you're in your own hell, basically. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not gonna talk religion because, I mean, hey, man, I got a lot of stuff to work on, you know.
Right.
But at the same time, like I talked to God, I mean, I heard the trumpets and I heard, tribal music, and He told me, like if I want to go back, and I seen hell, it's the most horrible thing you can ever see. Um,
Right.
but with hell, it's like I was sitting there on the floor, and I was hearing my phone ring. Let me connect my laptop for dies. But I was sitting there. I was on my hospital bed and everything else, and they were using this technique to help me talk,
Mhm.
and so I was there, and all of a sudden I was just leaning over like this, and in this person was saying, "You're never," in the deep voice, in the deep angry voice, "You're never gonna leave. This and that and this. Everybody hates you. You see that guy over there? He's doing this. He's doing." It was just constantly mind screwing you. Like it was just basically just the eyes of the person that doing it was just hate. There was this feeling on top of me, just pulling my freaking throat out and everything, and it was just. I mean, you're living your own little, hell basically, like I said. But then you got to deal with other
Right.
people trying to talk to you, and I mean, it's kind of hard, you know.
Mhm.
But that's how you feel. You when you die, you forget about your earthly things, and it's up to you how it's up to you if you're ready to move on and stuff like that.
Right.
Um, I've seen how I don't know. I mean, it's kind of weird. It's just I've seen how people die and then they come back. Like there's one guy. Um, his daughter is his daughter. I felt that it was his daughter's birthday. He got out of the car. He was going to his house. He fell and died of a heart attack. And then he would rewind it, get in the car, die, and come back. I mean, I even see myself in a body bag one time when I was gone. I mean, like there's not much to think about. Food, there's not much to think about. Drink, I mean, it depends for every spirit. Every spirit is different. Like
Mhm.
you can't control if you're gonna be like, okay, I want to go to a nice place. Oh, I'm gonna go to the beach. You can't. I mean, it's
Right.
gonna take you. It's gonna take you. If it wants to take you to a black void, it's gonna take you to a black void. If it wants to take you to a messed up moment in that time, it's gonna take you there. It could be 2, 3 minutes. I mean, to me, I wouldn't even worry about time. I wasn't worried about none of that. I was just worried that how am I gonna get out of here? How am I gonna change my life when I come back to this earth? It was a
Mhm.
return of cat eyes. Sorry, I didn't mean to make it about me. Sorry, but
That's
I'm
all
just letting
right.
you know. I mean, there's a lot to it, but there's a lot of stories I will tell you. But I did make a live stream like when I first started, and I see how it felt to be a spirit. I see it. Like when you're gone, you don't think, oh my God, I used to be a good pioneer, or I mean, yeah, they're thinking about me, so cool. All right, you don't think about that, man. You don't. I mean,
Right.
you don't hear people with spirit boxes. Maybe you do. Maybe I did. Who knows? I was just living my moment. I mean,
Mhm.
that's what I think. I mean, that's how I experience death. So, I mean, there was one time where I'm chained up. You know, um, those pipes in the ceilings, and they had me with chains like this, and they were
Wow.
power washing me with hose. And then
Whoa.
I see a clock and everything, and I see my family, talking about me and tell me about this or whatever, and talking amongst each other,
Uh huh.
and it's crazy. It's crazy how you can hear everything that's happening, and you can see, you can smell, you can like, basically, like wake up and like I didn't want to go to sleep that whole month because I thought I was gonna die again. I
Right.
mean, that's how basic it was. I mean, anyone could go to it. They don't have to just have COVID. Like, and I mean, it's just it's a wild experience to actually know what it feels like to be on the other side. But the next
Mhm.
thing I want to know is whenever I stop living this karma and keep on coming back, I want to know what's on the opposite side.
Yeah.
When you come back and you're reborn to a new human and you can live your life again, but through another pair of eyes, through another pair of body.
Right.
That's what I want to know.
Hopefully, I'll get to experience that when that happens.
So, yeah. Well, I hope not, but yeah. I mean,
Right.
it's just it's. I think it's like an out of body experience because
Mhm.
like my brothers were saying that like they heard me and blah blah. Beyonce said that she was in the room and I peeked around the corner to her real quick, and I mean I don't remember none of that. I don't remember talking to them. I don't remember it. I remember coming back to my mom's house. Everything was
Uh
dark
huh.
but the kitchen, and I was floating over the kitchen, and there was this brown-headed woman. She was on like she was just talking to me like she was nice, and she was talking to me, and all of a sudden like she goes, "You're not ready to go home yet," and I was like, "I am home," and they're like, "You see you floating in the air?" Like I mean, it was just so real. Like
Wow.
I mean, I thought that too. I thought that too when I said that. I want to know how it feels to be inside. You don't want to know.
Right.
Like, I mean, everything stops. Your life stops. You have no time. You have no concept of time. You have no concept of nothing. Only what you're experiencing. So yeah,
That's wow.
yeah, it is. So, but I know you had a hard day today, man. I mean, did you want to talk more about what's next up in your channel and stuff like that? I mean,
Sure. Um, we just, like I said earlier, we did an urban exploration of a place that's it's been abandoned for over 100 years. That video will probably be out in a few weeks. I have a very amazing friend that helps me do some of my editing and stuff. You guys may know who he is, the CO1 Rich. He's an amazing, amazing editor, and so he's helped me work on that one. He just helped me do my uh, Superman museum video that I did. I actually
mm-hmm.
got to go to Metropolis, Illinois, and see the Superman museum. And if you guys ever get down there, you gotta go in there. That place is amazing, with all the history that's from George Reeves, the TV show George Reeves did. Christopher Reeves, the real suit is down there. I was like in awe of that place. I'm like, oh my! I couldn't film everything. There was so much stuff there, but I loved that place.
Wow.
But yeah, I got that video coming up, and it has my new friends that are in it, Ferris the Fam.
Mm-hmm.
And big shout out to them because they brought us to some places I didn't know existed. So,
Nice.
and I have a video I'm working on. It was called Munchkin Land Cemetery,
Mm-hmm.
and that'll be coming out hopefully in another few weeks. I got there's a lot of history on that. I don't want to get too much detail, but there was a lot of children that are buried in the cemetery. That's why
Oh
they called
wow.
it Munchkin Land Cemetery. And we did a like EVP session, and I haven't gone over the footage yet, but we did a necrophonics session, and we had a little boy communicate with us and play hide and seek with us. So that was cool. And we actually
Wow.
went to where he's buried at. He was buried by this bush. He said, I'm hiding by the bush. So we go over by the bush, and lo and behold, there was a little boy's grave right there.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Hey, let me ask you a
And
question. Do you think kids go to heaven, or do you think they stay behind because they're attached to something or someone?
that's possible. There's attachments to objects and people and stuff.
Yeah. That fast
Yep.
that kind of I think a lot of your time because I'm just like poor kids. They're stuck in a place,
Mhm.
like they don't want to be, but they do. They
And
they just don't know the
sometimes,
difference.
yeah, sometimes they don't know that they died either. They still think they're, playing their children. They didn't know they died.
Yeah, great. Wow,
Mhm.
that is crazy.
But that was, I mean, you could feel the sadness and stuff. You felt, we were at that cemetery. You feel like the children wanted you there. They
Hmm.
were lonely,
Yeah,
and we felt like they were lonely, and they wanted somebody to play with. So we played with them. We played with the spirits there.
yeah. Wow,
It
that's
was
wild.
a peaceful feeling there.
Yeah, we got to think
You
about. Sorry.
some places you go, you could feel like negativity, and then I could feel that. And then
Yeah,
some places I go, I could feel they want you there. They feel, it's positive. It's just something you
yeah,
feel.
yeah. I've been to one where it felt like like it's sort of like formal. You know what I mean? Like like they want that respect because in life, that meant
Mhm.
so much to them that but when they got buried, Like it was a big thing to them. It was like a like that's my day. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
were living that even in death because they think it's so cool the music and all the people that came to them and everything. But what I want to know is like, and here's one thing I didn't understand: why did I see the people knowing they were alive? Why did I see them? Do you think it was out of body experience, or do you think that the people that passed away when I was passed away? Do you think I'm gonna see them in the future, or you think they're dead as well?
Yeah, that
I never seen them ever in my life,
I
ever.
right.
It freaked me out one time, real quick. I'm not gonna keep you long because I know you're tired too. Um, I went to physical therapy, and I'm going next month.
Mhm.
And I seen this woman there that was when I was passed away, and it's exactly the same woman that was my physical therapist there. And I was like, what the hell? I seen her.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, that's amazing. It's amazing how you get to see the people you once seen when you were on the other side. And that's still
Mhm.
one thing. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's wild. I mean, God gave me a good gift to come back to and, and,
Right.
share with you guys. And I mean,
Mhm.
but yeah, like I was saying, like, thanks for coming by, Rob. I appreciate it,
Yeah.
man. And,
This was
and
fun.
thanks, man. Like, um, I just want everyone to know that life is good, guys. And I'm not gonna sit here and preach, like, and everybody has their own belief system and stuff like that, and stuff like that. So, um,
I got something else I'm working on. I can't give a lot of details on
yeah.
because this person that may be coming to see me. He doesn't know if he's going to make it up this way, but he's a
Mm-hmm,
extremely well-known YouTuber friend.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, so there might be possibly some collaboration coming up, but I can't give full details because I don't know if it's for sure going to happen yet.
Wow. Well, I can't wait. That's
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait either. So I've got my fingers crossed, hoping it does. But if it doesn't, there will be another time where we'll meet up. So
Oh, yeah, you got to think about the weather going on and this stuff going on with the sickness and stuff like that too. So,
yeah.
um, look up the killer of Flower Moon. That's what Beauty of Nature said. Okay, I don't know if it was a movie or not. But I'll let you go, Rob. Thanks for coming up. I appreciate it. And we all had a long day, so I mean, like
Right.
yeah,
And how long have you and I known each other, Eli? We've known each other what
a
3 4
long
years?
time, 4 years.
About 4 years, yeah. Because
Yeah,
I
4 years.
remember, didn't we met through? I think we met through Sherry. Sherry, wasn't it?
We did Sherry. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Man, I kind of missed my old channel though, man. I got to start over, but it's
Mhm.
going good so far. Like, I mean, I just got
Oh,
to get
you're
all my
doing
subs back.
amazing.
Thanks, man. I'm trying.
Right, you're doing an amazing job. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I try every day. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of thrown off a little bit today as well. Like, had some stuff come up, and everybody goes through their time and moments. And some days
Right.
you'll have your oh my god, you all pepped up, or sometimes like
Mhm.
it's kind of difficult. Man. Like, I mean, everybody thinks we go on these panels and it's so cool. It's rough having a personal life out there, and
Right.
you might be sick, you might be happy, you might be having your down moments, but hey, that's why we make panels for, cheer you
Yep.
up. So yeah,
That's right.
but you got to keep on staying positive, man. Um, but yeah,
That's
I
what I try
try.
to do. I'm
Yeah,
I'm trying to stay positive, and
it's
I
hard.
welcome. It's hard, yeah. I welcome everybody that comes to my channel, and I treat everybody like family that comes in there. So
Yeah, something happened. I think he went black, or did I? Am I still here? Did he leave, or Do you guys still see me out there? I'll just wait for him. I don't know if that was his phone that died or what's going on. I'll just wait for a little bit. So, guys, thanks for coming up. I appreciate it. Drop you guys links if you guys want. Yeah, I think he went black, didn't he? Okay, I'll just wait for a little bit, and then I've done some. Let's see. We'll talk for a few. I've done some behind the scenes pics and video. Oh, I gotta check that out, Beauty Nature. I've just been so busy. I really have with my appointments and my daughter's appointments and everything. And I was so tired yesterday, running around all day long, and I'm just like, oh. And then I was seeing Michigander's man's videos, and we are talking as well on YouTube too about about certain details of the properties and the properties he's been in and everything. So yes, he went black. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Here he comes. Yeah, everybody's like, what happened?
I don't know what happened. I was like, what the heck? I had to sign
Yeah,
back in.
I will beauty nature. Sure will. Well, no, I'm just saying that I had long there with my daughter's appointment. And the next day, I was checking out all your videos and talking to you through YouTube about about certain locations that we talked about tonight. And it's amazing what we go through, what you go through. The reason why I do this is because I want to ask y'all guys experiences. So
Uh huh.
they're later in life. If I could learn from you guys whenever I do go on investigation, and when I'm in investigation, I can know what to do. You know what I mean? Like, and what not to do.
I know. That's what I love about doing what I do because of there's people that don't get out and stuff, and I've had comments saying thank you for doing what you do because I'm not able to get out. I've I'm disabled and um I just love doing this. I'll never quit doing YouTube, and I hope just to keep getting bigger and bigger, can do more and
Yeah,
go more places and just keep up doing what I'm doing.
it's amazing. You do a good job. Like I'm just like I could not do what you do, honestly. I mean, like travel and everything, and it takes money too. I mean, it really does.
Mhm.
I mean, when I look at your videos, I'm just like, wow, look at that badass go, man. Like, he's cool as hell. You know what I mean? Like,
One of my favorite celebrity grave sites I didn't mention, I forgot. It was uh, Denver Pile, Uncle Jesse from Dukes of
okay,
Hazzard.
yeah,
That was awesome. Going to as one of my childhood idols and stuff, Uncle Jesse, and I'm like, I was so happy that I was able to go to his grave,
mm,
and I got some more that I'm gonna try to get to. You know, got to plan them out. So hopefully next week I'll be doing some more celebrity grave sites and
oh hell
murder
yeah,
mystery graves and stuff.
I want to check that out. That is super awesome. That is.
Yeah, that was cool. And I have another one too that was a tragedy that I've been to. I was actually a Titanic survivor.
Mm,
This lady survived the Titanic and the great earthquake in California. I
mm,
went and visited. I did a video on her gravesite.
yeah. I seen the 911 video too. You did get on that one.
Yeah, yeah,
That was
that
sad,
one was
man.
very sad.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
want to
this is,
go to New York and I want to visit the memorial one of these days.
yeah. I seen the pictures. It looks pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoyed it. So, yeah. Well, guys, I'm gonna end this. I gotta get up in the morning. I got I gotta get some X-rays done for my knee, and it's been hurting a lot every time I walk. And COVID really freaked me out. And I know you're probably busy in the morning too. Um, I appreciate
Oh
everybody
yeah.
for coming. Maybe we could do this again another day, and and we're not so tired. You know what I mean? Like, um,
Right.
so I appreciate you coming by, and guys, again, thank you for being a part of our journey, and thank you for letting me be part of yours. And
Always family, Eli. We're always family.
oh, always, man, always. See you guys later.
Always.